Hello everyone who is watching. I am just getting myself oriented here. On the right hand side we have the S30 Pro looking at M42. These are 20-second exposures, so the core is pretty blown out. I don't have much time on this object anyway, so I'm just leaving it as is, just collecting some data. And then on the left side we have M81 and M82 being imaged in dual narrowband. So I'm mostly doing this to get the hydrogen alpha from both of these, and these look pretty good, I think. Although I see some vignetting, so definitely to make sure I take some flats. And this is outside on my ML Astro Sal 33. Guiding is okay, 0.63. And this is a live stag, by the way. This is 23, so almost 2 hours of data here. So that's why it looks pretty good. This is what a single image looks like. Actually, this is not what a single image looks like. I think, is it, what's happening here? It's, the sequencer has stopped. So let's see, 2108. Oh wow, it hasn't imaged in a while, huh? I did not notice this. I wonder what happened. That is strange. I wonder if I accidentally clicked stop. That's not great. I haven't been imaging for half an hour. Oh, it could be because I triggered a manual autofocus. So this is an autofocused shot, so should get another image in soon. But yeah, damn, I lost almost about half an hour because I was not paying attention to my own thing. Hey Otto, welcome. Always good to see you. Oops. Yep, this M82 and M81, and we have the Garland Galaxy. I forget what the name of that is, but you know, I put this on the edge just because I don't mind if it gets cropped out. But yeah, M81 is looking really nice. So is M82. I'm really looking forward to getting the H alpha out of this and stacking it. I was hoping to do like 5 hours of this tonight. I am at 2.5 hours now. It would have been more if I wasn't a moron. And then once I'm done with this, I'm probably going to shift this to M51, which does have some H alpha there as well. Are you doing any imaging tonight, Otto? I will say that my S30 Pro is having some internet issues. It's really cold outside. I think it's negative 10 degrees Celsius. Checking. Yeah, it's about negative 10 degrees Celsius, which is about 14 degrees Fahrenheit. And then after this is done, I was hoping I can point you to the Seagull Nebula. I placed my Seestar in a place where I can kind of see it. I'll also try a background extraction, see what that looks like. Well, looks pretty good. Okay, leave that in. This is just a temporary view. On the edge for a Seestar, yeah. Oh yeah, here's what a single 5 second or 5 minute image looks like through the ASCAR 120 Apo. Let's see. Yeah, HFR is good. 2.15. And this is with the SV Bony SV220 7nm filter. Nothing too special. And looking at my guiding here, 0.63, which is pretty good, not amazing. With the SAL33, I'll have a review on that soon. It's been giving me a ton of trouble. One cool thing about here, I think you can see it on YouTube, is that this little thing, this is M82. So even in a 2 second exposure, it shows up, which makes sense because I've visually seen M82 through a big daub. And it does look like a cigar. Hey Beverly. They don't have guiding in the sense that you're thinking, but it does have plate solving, and I think it does correct itself every once in a while, but not like auto guiding like you're seeing here, which is by Nina setup. Uh, Not only did this disconnect, I think it's also hitting my neighbor's house. You can kind of see it on the bottom. Let me just see this really quickly. Yep. Alrighty. So I'm gonna have to stop this because this is my 120 Apo setup outside, my big refractor, and my SAL 33 mount. That's why the galaxies look so nice and big. Doing this in dual narrowband, so trying to get some H alpha out so that I can stack it onto my RGB data. This is looking really nice. I'm looking forward to stacking this. I was saying earlier that I'm an idiot. I stopped imaging temporarily to autofocus because I didn't feel like putting it in my sequencer. I probably should have put it in my sequencer, but I did that and then I forgot to turn it back on, so I lost about half an hour of data. But whatever. Get out of here. Okay, so this is okay. So I'm gonna go into scenery mode and then see if I can spot Sirius. Okay, so there's Sirius, right? Stop. Yeah, there's Sirius. I think the Seagull Nebula is gonna be like up here. I don't know. I'm refusing to upgrade to this firmware because people keep reporting issues. Seagull, there we go. Oh yeah, ton of snow. If you hear a toddler coughing in the background, it's my son on the baby monitor. Yeah, we got a ton of snow. I took a time lapse. It's private, but I'll link it in the chat so people can watch this private video, or it's unlisted. Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot of snow. I think about 12 inches was the official count here. It was very windy, so the wind actually helped remove a lot of the snow from the top layer. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I think it could be the filter. I have the SV Bony SV120 filter on there, but yeah, it's very vignetted, right? It did not look like this without the filter. So I'm definitely gonna have to do flats. But this is at 1x, so I'm not using a reducer. But I don't remember seeing this before, so I wonder. I don't think it's frost because I have the dew heater on. Yeah, it's using 9% cooler power. Crazy. And this is also a live stack, so it's not just a single stack. Oops. Here's what a single stack looks like. It's much harder to see the vignetting, but it's still kind of there, right? What size filter? It's a 2-inch filter. This is my first time using a dual narrowband filter with the 120 Apo, so. Oop, horizontal calibration failed. Let's see, I'll let it take an image and see what happens. that dang tree. So I'm going to go into my sequencer. You can see that Meridian flip is at about 11:30, so I can go longer without doing a flip. I think people know this about me. I don't like flips. And this live stack is just a little over 2 hours. Sensor size, it's not a full frame, it's APS-C, it's the ASI 2600 MC Pro. Yeah, it's interesting though, right? The stars otherwise look great everywhere. Oh man, my S30 Pro is having issues, struggling with the Wi-Fi, like enhancing. It still hasn't received the first frame yet. Oh, look at that. I think it was like 20 seconds. So I think the seagull is in here. I can kind of see it. Oh yeah, I see it. I see the head. This is not well framed. I'm switching this just because I want more of the seagull. Yeah, stars are nice and round. Yeah, the telescope is good. Yeah, I think it's the sensor. If I had more clear skies, I would also test this with the L Extreme filter, which is basically the same thing. But yeah, this is a pretty significant halo. Also, if I had time, I'd actually go outside and look for frost on the glass itself, although it shouldn't have any frost. Actually, this wouldn't be frost anyway. It wouldn't look like this, so never mind. Seagull looks like a Romulan warbird. It does. Anyone else doing any imaging tonight? Probably only gonna live stream until 11 because I have a couple of videos I need to edit. Horizontal calibration failed again. It's probably because of the stupid tree in the backyard. I was hoping the snowstorm would bring at least some branches down, but no. Also, have I taken the Seestar S30 to darker skies yet? Nope. It's only ever seen my backyard, Bortle 8. Yeah, with the snow and everything, I can't even take it to my astronomy club's fields because there's no place to put anything. There's I think 35 inches of snow on the field there. I think they plowed some, so maybe less, but even then, it's crazy. Clouds are everywhere, or I take mine out to check. Yeah. Yeah, if you do check later at some point, just put it on Discord. I'm curious. I know you have vignetting with your 0.65 reducer, but that's expected with such a wide field. But at 1x, it's interesting. So again, I think it's the filter because I did not have this last week when I imaged without the filter. So, and I think, no, is there clouds here? It's supposed to be clear. Oh man, look at that. Why are there clouds? The forecast says it's clear right now. Erg. Let's see what these subs look like. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is so annoying. Okay, so I guess I should probably stop this. Or, yeah, I should stop this because there's no point. Yeah, there's no point. That's dumb. At this, my guiding's, I think it's still fine in the north. So wow. Having some Wi-Fi issues. What software am I using on the left side? So this is PhD2 for guiding. Sorry if I'm pausing talking. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm seeing some clouds here. And over here is Nina, which is doing the actual imaging. And this is the live stack plugin in Nina. Things are looking pretty nice. Oh, hey, look at that, an airplane. Sweet. I'm trying to turn my S30 around to the north to see if stars are, or clouds are going away. But it's not moving. It's definitely because of the Wi-Fi. Another reason to not make this live stream go for too long. Oh, there it goes, moving. Now, will I be doing a live stream for the lunar eclipse? Probably not. Lunar eclipse for me here doesn't start until, I think, almost 4 a.m. And then totality is at 6:10, I think, like 10 minutes before sunrise. So it's not going to be a good one. I did do a live stream for the last year's one, which was kind of nice. But I'm sure others will be live streaming. I'm just not going to be able to see it well. Where are you going to see it from? Or are you going to be able to see it, John? Oh my god. Move, Seestar. Look at all these trees. Yeah, I'll have to see. I already have a spot scattered out. I'm okay seeing a partial. I just want to take like one quick picture just to add to my collection of eclipse photos. Just because I've been collecting them, imaging them for so long. So I'll probably get up or not go to sleep. More likely the latter. Oh, cool. Alabama. Yeah, I think you, me, and Beverly are like, although we're like many, many, many miles apart, we're gonna get a similar experience. Well, while I wait for the Seestar to load, I can pull up the Eclipse path. Our friend, time and date. Eclipses. There we go. Total lunar eclipse. Hawaii is going to get a really nice view. So will people in California and Oregon. Yeah, for us, look at that. I guess Alabama, you're going to get a better view than us. I thought it would cut more this way, but it's not. You'll actually get totality. That's great. I'm here. I'm getting totality for 13 minutes, and then it's going to go down. Beverly will get a slightly better view, but not much. Total lunar eclipses are cool, but not good enough for me to like drive too far out to. I did last year. I ended up being like here in southern Vermont in a really dark sky. Got some nice images. Airplane. Ooh, cool. Nuclear plant. We used to have one in Massachusetts. The Seestar still won't move. Yeah, clouds are a big thing, right? Yeah, I'm not even like really planning for it until next Monday. Sorry, y'all. This is a boring live stream. The Seestar is not responding. I guess we can just try and find another DSO instead of me trying to look around. So it thinks I'm looking at Trifecta, but I'm not. Not even close. Maybe we can go to M101. Don't think I've imaged this one yet. While we wait for that, anyone go into any total solar eclipses? I am not going to this one. We do have a partial lunar eclipse here, which I'll be able to see, which will be nice. So this one I might live stream. Let's see what it will look like. Yeah, this one I can live stream. Like, partial begins at 10:30 p.m. Perfect. It's going to be pretty high in the sky, I believe. Unless I'm traveling. Last year, August 27th, I was not here. We have another annular eclipse in next February that we're not going to be able to see. Oh, a penumbral lunar eclipse. Oh wow, looks like we're not getting another total lunar eclipse for a while. Yeah, so next one and then the one after that is December 31st, 2021. 2.5 years. Almost 3 years, actually. Hey Nada, thank you. I'm glad my scripts are helpful. Interesting. We got some Mercury transits coming up. Still far away. It is a long time, yeah. Yeah, I didn't actually realize this. I don't prep for lunar eclipses as much as solar eclipses, so. Am I going to Neve? I am going to Neve, yeah. Are you? Where are you traveling from, AJ? I am hoping to travel to this one, though. I still need to really finalize plans for this. Ugh. I'll probably be in over here. Yeah, I can't go to Algiers, though. One of these places. Like Oran or Algeria is going to be really good. We can go to Algeria too. Oh yeah, Tangiers. That's where I want to go. I don't know. I was looking at Algiers. Tangiers, where I want to go. It's right in the middle. 4 minutes 51 seconds, but Oh, cool. Coming from Texas. Cool. Yeah, look me up. I should be walking around, probably. I really want to go to Spain, but I'm debating if I should go. It makes more sense. Yeah, Spain this year is going to be difficult because of the time of year, and it's going to be really low to the horizon. So you need to make sure you have a good western view. 2027 definitely makes more sense if you can go to Gibraltar. I think somebody mentioned that. Yeah, watch from Gibraltar. Otto, do you already have plans to go to Gibraltar? Do you know people from Gibraltar? Are you looking to adopt a YouTuber to join you in Gibraltar? I could use a backup plan. Become a billionaire and go on a yacht. I don't know why I just said yacht. Yacht to Gibraltar. Yeah. Well, if anybody becomes a billionaire and wants to adopt me, I am available. Luxor was one of my top choices, but I'll be traveling with my son, who will be 4.5 at that time, and it gets really hot there. So yeah, I don't know if I want to risk his health. I think the average temperature in August is like 110 degrees Fahrenheit. But yeah, I have no idea what the plans will be, but I'm gonna start looking. I already spoke with a travel guide for Egypt, but I think I'm gonna have to tell him that I can't go. So, and then I'll start looking at Morocco. Let's see what my thing is doing. Oh, hey, look at this. It's imaging. Sweet. There's a little bit of a gradient there. Let's do a dynamic background extraction. Beautiful. Oh, cool. I think my in-laws were in Gibraltar a couple years ago. I should check in with them. I've never been to Spain. I've been to Italy. I'm not well traveled. In Europe, I've only been to London and a bunch of places in Italy. Oh, in 2028, I want to go here because I have family in Australia. I know when my live stream goes really late, Australians start to join the live stream. What's on the left? What program? So this is Nina. It's the imaging software, and then the other thing was this is PhD2, which is short for Push Here Dummy 2, and this is the guiding software. This chart also appears in Nina at the bottom right here. So similar view, but this one gives you a little bit more details because I can see the charts here. It's the HFD, which is the half flux diameter, and the target, and a bunch of other stuff. No problemo. Oh no, it's over here. It's like pretty close to here. There's like no No towns over here. Oops. It's gonna be hard to get to, but oh, there's an island over here, West Island. They're gonna see totality. But yeah, Sydney 2028, and then I think like Melbourne 2030. Ooh. South Africa looks pretty good. Yeah, this is not as good. Melbourne, yeah, Perth will get some, so maybe Perth is going to be the place to go to, and then drive this way or something. I don't know Australia at all. If there are any Australians in the chat, good day to you. I'm also looking for people in Australia to adopt me. You were just in Spain a few months ago. It would definitely be a great place to watch an eclipse. Yeah, I'm sure. That'd be really fun. Yeah, hotels don't let you book that far out. Yeah, that's the problem, and you can't book flights. It's one of the reasons I really enjoyed planning for the 2024 eclipse, because I knew I wasn't going to fly, and Airbnbs were available almost 2 years in advance. I think it was like 20 months. Oh, hey, thanks. Thank you, PG Cuddy. You wanted to buy this, but you live near Chicago. Is this scope bad with light pollution? Also a guru. Are you asking about the Seestar S30 Pro? Because I'm using it in Boston right now, which is about the same, if not worse than Chicago. Maybe better than Chicago. I don't know. Let's look it up. What is the hold on, I do have this new light pollution thingy that we can look at. Let's compare. Yeah, you can definitely do this from the middle of the city. So Boston right now, if I hover over here, it's 8, right? I'm like in the outskirts here, so it's like 8, 9. I'm in the 8 area here. So if you look at Chicago, woof, hold on, I need to bring the transparency down. Opacity, here is Chicago. Chicago is like 9, and depending on where you are in the outskirts, 8. So it's basically the same. So yeah, this will be great. I have taken my old Seestar S30 out to New York. My parents live in Queens. That's where I grew up. So that's the Bortle 9. So especially with like the dual narrowband filters like I'm using here. Oh, not what I'm using here. This is broadband, but it's you can definitely cut past the light pollution. So I recommend. And if you haven't seen my review of the 2 telescopes, I recommend it. I'll link to it in the chat if I can find it. There you go. So give that a watch. It has useful information. All the images you saw are taken from my Boston backyard. So I like the observing quality chart. It's like orange. Awesome. I'm happy to earn your subscription. John, you always thought about getting in touch with folks in the local area for an eclipse. I would bring my gear and set it up so they can have a full experience and get guaranteed space to view. Yes. So I did that for the 2017 eclipse. We drove down to Tennessee and I made friends with our Airbnb host like two years in advance. It was a really cheap Airbnb. I gave them free eclipse glasses. I sent them photos and it was great. You know, like I didn't have to worry about them canceling my Airbnb like a lot of people experienced in 2017. But yeah, it's definitely good to do. I think I earned a bunch of Australian subscribers over the last couple of months. I just have to start doing more live streams at like midnight Eastern time. That's when they start to show up. Do I go live often? I think you popped up my algorithm because I've been looking at telescopes. Kinda. If you look at my YouTube, you can see how often I go live. Like I did, like January was a good month. I went live like 5 times almost, 4 times. This is my second one in February. It depends on the clear skies when I'm available, but yeah, I go live. I've been doing live streams for a while. Yeah, I go live whenever I can. It's hard in this hobby because it's so sky dependent, so I can't just go live whenever I want, unfortunately. But yeah, and if you have a Discord, I'll put an invite in the description or in the chat. I don't know, always say description. Feel free to join there. Lots of helpful people there. Happy to have you. Yeah, feel free to use the idea, John. It's an open source idea. Hey, Spacey Doo. Welcome. Yeah, we're glad to have you. Also, since you're in Chicago, you should look up Eyes on the Sky. It's a guy named David Fuller. He doesn't make content on YouTube anymore, but I don't know why I keep bringing this up. I'm just going to put this in the other window. He doesn't make as much content. I'll link to his channel. He's a really, really nice dude. We've become friends over the years. But he's on the outskirts of Chicago. I think he moved recently, but I think he's still there. But he has some really nice videos. Eyes on the Sky, David Fuller. He's an awesome dude. Am I going to capture the lunar eclipse on March 3rd? I mean, I'll try, but here in Boston, it starts really late. I still have that open. Let's just go to it because it's gonna be really late. Totality is gonna start like 10 minutes before sunrise, so I'm going to try and take at least one picture. Yeah, so the partial begins at 4:50 a.m., so around 5 a.m., and then full begins at 6:04, and then the moon sets at 6:18. So, I have less than 15 minutes for totality, and it's gonna be really low to the horizon, so I'm not gonna be able to get anything at all. But I'm gonna try and get something at the partial eclipse phase. That's my goal. Hey, Milky Way. Oh, cool. Do you have a tracking number for your S30 Pro? That's a good point. I should take my S30 Pro with me for the lunar eclipse. I was just gonna take a DSLR. And I'm not going far from where I live, but I should actually go scout that place out to see if it's plowed, because it's in a park. Yeah, look, I'm looking at the Pinwheel Galaxy right here. This is the S30 Pro. And it doesn't look like much yet. It just needs a lot more data. But yeah, this is the Pinwheel. It would look better with this one, but I'm collecting narrowband data here, and I'm not planning on pointing this anywhere else. But this is looking really nice. Yeah, I don't know how Northerners deal with the snow either. We just get sad. What helps is that we can complain to other Northerners about the snow, and then we come together and complain. I know there were ZWO was out because of the Lunar New Year, so hopefully they ship yours out soon. I think they have a lot of inventory in their New Jersey warehouse, so hopefully it ships from there. Can I see the Orion Nebula? Yeah, I was looking at the Orion Nebula before it hit my neighbor's house. Let me show you what that looked like. Orion Nebula is super easy. You can see it naked eye. Like, I've seen it from Boston, which is kind of incredible. If this ever loads, I will relink my video in the. Here we go. There you go. There you go. This is the Orion Nebula. Ah, man, if it loads. Oops. I'll relink my video in the chat of the S30 Pro where I took images of the Orion Nebula if you want to take a look. Go. Yeah, Rhode Island got pummeled. Which is interesting because I don't think they usually get that much snow. They got more than everyone else. Oh yeah, hurricanes. That's another thing. I was in New York City during Hurricane Sandy in 2012. That was fun. Subways got flooded. But yeah, anyway, this is a 20-second exposure of the Orion Nebula. And the video I linked to has a much nicer view, much nicer video, much nicer image of Orion. You've gone kayaking alongside alligators. That's too much, Beverly. Kayaking with the gators is fun. You're all insane. Don't worry, I'm not gonna bring a dog with me or me to see any alligators. Hey, New Zealander, welcome. You'll also see a good view of the eclipse in 2028. I was saying earlier that I'm looking for people in the southern hemisphere to adopt me, so if you're looking, let me know. Oh, you'll never see me in a kayak either. Yeah, it looks great, right? This is 33, almost 3 hours, so 2 hours 45 minutes. And this is M81. Whoop, my Seestar disconnected. That's not great. It's the SV-Bony 7 nanometer. I wish I had the 3 nanometer right now. I'd get much crispier detail. But I don't have that one. For the M101 on the right, am I reading it correctly that it is 20 minutes worth of data? Yeah, 22 minutes, 20 seconds whenever this loads again. Yeah, dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign. I'm trying to save money to go narrowband this year. I think I want to do that. Get a crop sensor, narrowband, monochrome camera, and some good narrowband filters. I think SV-Bony has some good ones too. I don't know if they have 3 nanometer versions, but we'll see. I know Ascar has some really nice ones, and I have a good relationship with them, so I could see if they'll send me some to test. Here's M101 back. Yeah, your 3 nanometer images look really good, Magus. $400. That's crazy. Yeah, I agree. Especially if you have the 7 nanometer version. That's been my excuse too. Like, I don't need it, and yeah, saving them money towards something else. And they ask for C1 and C2 filters, but I've not been able to try them out yet. Cool. Is that the... Yeah. I think there's Paul, who's a member of this community. He has those. I think he really likes those. I kind of want those too, but again, I think I'm going to push towards a monochrome setup. So no more dual narrowband filters for me. Did you also hear correctly that I won't be going to Spain in August? Yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere for the 2026 Eclipse. It's gonna be too low on the horizon. So like if we look at the Eclipse, so like from Spain, like even if you're like here, you can see that full begins at 8:26, and you'll have about a minute and a half, or almost 2 minutes of totality. But it's right by sunset. So you'll need a really low western horizon view in order to see the eclipse. And then if you're like on the other side of Spain, it's like even then, even more so. I know some people are going to Iceland. They're going to be on a yacht on Iceland, and they'll have a much better view. But even then, you know, like the cloud forecast for this region for this time of year is not great. It's going to be super expensive. So I am not going anywhere. I'm going to see a partial eclipse from Boston, a whopping 16%, but it'll be at 1 p.m. So if it's clear, I'll be live streaming that from my backyard. What date is that? August 12th is a Wednesday. If anyone from my job is listening, I am taking that day off. Isn't a setting eclipse supposed to be nicer? It is supposed to be nicer, yeah. Yeah, it's because you can get the Earth along with the sun and the moon. But it's so much harder to find a place to set up for that, right? Especially in an area that's known to be cloudy in the summertime. If it was happening like in the US, I would definitely go and try it. But I've never been to Spain. I don't know the area. I don't know anyone there who can scout out a place for me. And it's going to be expensive. Do I think the reducer for the Ascar 71F is worthwhile to get? I have it. I like it. I think it's nice. It's not overly expensive like a lot of other telescopes. It gives you a really nice boost in your field of view and the telescope speed, so I think it's worth getting. But I will say that all of 2025, I used my 71F without the reducer. I've really grown to like the native focal length, but yeah, the reducer was great. I used it for a comet a while ago, Comet Suchinchan Atlas, and that was nice. What is the Toronto info for this eclipse? I think a little bit worse than us. You'll get 8%, but you know, you'll see a little bite taken out of Toronto. Timing is similar. Start at 12:55 instead of 1:01. What would be cool? So like mid-August, we usually, my family, my in-laws and I usually go up to like New Hampshire somewhere. It's not much better. I wonder if I can go to like Maine, get 25%. That's about as far as I can go. I think I'll be happy with 16%. Add to my Eclipse collection. Yeah. Isn't it sad that we have to end all of our sentences in this hobby with if it isn't cloudy? You don't hear any other hobbies have a sentence ender like that. Oh, I'm gonna build this robot if it's not cloudy. I may be losing it a little bit. So we've been stuck with a 3-year-old for the last 5 days. Hey Jerry Springfield. Hey Massachusetts, a fellow masshole. Welcome. Let's see what you'll get in Springfield for the Eclipse. Wow, such a big drop. 13% from 16%. Wow. Interesting. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, if you have Discord, you should definitely join the Discord because we have a growing group of locals over there. Oops, if I can get my chat to load, I'll put it in there. For Spain, you booked a hotel in Oviedo. Cool. Oh, cool. That sounds like a really nice place. Sacred Heart of Jesus Monument. Cool. I hope you get some really nice images, and I hope you share them. I'd love to see them. I think there's one person in our Discord so far who's going to Spain. I gotta check in with him, see how he's doing. This is why you know what is going on in Massachusetts. Hanging out with those guys, yeah. So it's quite a few of us. Oh yeah, I remember the other Toronto guy. I wonder what happened to him. Yeah, I agree with you, John. I did both. My first time when I was younger was with family. It was great. And in 2017, it was just me and my wife. on a big farm with animals. So we had llamas and goats around us. That was kind of interesting. And then in 2024, it was again with family and a bunch of random people around us. And a lot of people started congregating towards me when they started seeing my setup with like 2 telescopes and 2 cameras. That was interesting. Oh yeah, fingers crossed. No forest fires. No, you're a good friend, John. I convinced a lot of people to go see the eclipse, but not with me because I was going with my family. We were going to travel to Texas, but the clouds made us change our trip to upstate New York, and then we ended up in upstate Vermont, right by the Canada border. Where did you end up going to, John, in Vermont? I was in Richford, Vermont, which is like a mile from the Canada border. Newport, cool. Yeah, we weren't that far from each other. We almost went to Newport. Um, that morning, we got up, we woke up, looked at the forecast, and it looked like it was going to be cloudy in upstate New York. So we got in the car and we drove west. We were heading towards Newport, and then we looked at Google Maps, and Google Maps said it was just red traffic. So we just kept on driving north and east. Hey, Fitzmichael, welcome. What's on the left screen? So this is I have my ASCAR 120 Apo. It's a big-ish refractor, looking at M81 and M82 in dual narrowband. So I'm going after the hydrogen alpha of M81 and this real neat outburst in M82. I don't know what it'll look like. It's been a long time since I did this region in dual narrowband and combined narrowband and RGB, so I'm looking forward to testing that out. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think I heard that. I think I heard he was there, but a lot of people were there in Newport. So part of me wanted to go, but part of me was also glad I didn't go because I think it was really crowded, right? Nice. I took 2 weeks off for the for the eclipse. Yeah, a lot of people went to Vermont and New Hampshire. I had a few friends who were going to Texas because of me, and I had to like panic text them like a week before. I'm like, I'm not going to Texas. I don't know if you want to go either. And then they all changed their plans, and everybody saw the eclipse. So yeah, I took 2 weeks because we were planning on driving to Austin from Boston with an 11-month-old at the time. So we were going to take 6 days to drive down there slowly, make stops, spend a few days in Austin, and then drive back another 6 days. Wait, what was me? Oh yeah, yeah, that was me. Yeah, I took 2 weeks. For the 2017 eclipse, I only took a week because it was at the end of August. That's when classes start. So I had to come back the day after the eclipse, and that was not a good idea. Should have taken like another 2 days off. But this time, we used the extra week. We went to another Airbnb in New York, upstate New York, and we stayed there. It was nice. It was me, my wife, and my son. And then when we drove back a week after, there was no traffic. Yeah, I agree about the beauty of Western Mass. We want to move. I want to move away from the city, and we were looking at Western Mass for both, the natural beauty and darker skies. We're looking around Springfield. I don't know if the Springfield person is still here. Jerry. Yeah, agreed. Let me see how much time I have. No, get out of here. Ah. So I think I said I don't like Meridian flips, and I'm about to hit Meridian flip shortly. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look up M51 and point it there. I'm going to frame it how I did before. And then I'll come back to M81 and M82 later to add more data. So I'm going to do this is I'm going to duplicate this. Let's do hips fit survey. Yeah, more breathable air in rural skies, says your wife says you can't. My wife's more open to it, but my in-laws live really close to us here, which is really nice for like babysitting and daycare and stuff, so that makes it tough. Okay, so this is Lewin Center, guiding, cool. I'm going to have it do just one more, and then it'll auto shift. Okay, then we'll see it. Hey Andrew, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. That's the other thing, right? Like being in the city is just so easy. Like growing up in New York City, I barely drove, and living in Boston, even though it's a city, public transport isn't as convenient here. A lot of people drive, but yeah, like getting around would be hard. A meridian flip is when a telescope is turning, as it's tracking the sky, and it reaches a limit where if it keeps going, it'll go upside down. So it has to actually flip around and then turn it. There's probably a good video on it I could probably show you, or a good infographic. Let me look. Here we go. Stellar Mate to the rescue. Oops. Yeah, so like let's say you're tracking something. You start on the east of the meridian. You're tracking something, and it keeps going and going until it can't anymore, and then the telescope ends up on this side. If it keeps going, it'll go upside down and hit the tripod. So what it does is it'll go back so that it kind of resets and then start rotating again against the Earth's rotation, if that kind of makes sense. Hey, Elzar. Let's see if I can find a video too. Maybe I think I have videos on what a meridian flip looks like, because I've recorded it before. Like, I've done successful meridian flips. It's just annoying. And then once this flips to M51, in usual fashion around this time, I have to go do some family stuff, and then I'll be back. I'll let people moderate themselves here. So if the tripod wasn't in the way, you could keep going without a meridian flip. Theoretically, yeah, you can, but your telescope would still be upside down, so it would hit something, right? Unless somehow your telescope was hanging from the ceiling. You're on a train, Airbnb's in North Quincy. Well, someone said that the next stop was North Quincy, but due to your pronunciation sounded like not Quincy. I could hear it. Maybe that's the like you think about like the Hubble Space Telescope and JWST. They don't need to do meridian flips because they're floating in space, and also they're not rotating around the Earth, so they don't really care. Hey, Wicked Elite Gamer. Yeah, it's really good for $600, right? And if you haven't seen my video yet, you should. I have lots of good images on there. I'll link to the video again. Yeah, I haven't traveled with this one yet, but I think my next trip is in May. Actually, no, it's in August. No, sorry, it's in April to Neef. So I might take this with me. I wonder if I can grab a whole bunch of people with Seestars and we do a Seestar star party somewhere. Alright, looking at this. So you can't see it, but M51 is in view here. So what it's doing now, it's auto-focusing. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been saying that their S30 Pros haven't been shipping in a timely fashion. What was the website? Look at light pollution earlier. It was darkskysites.com. There's also lightpollutionmap.info. Oops. This is also a really good one. These all use the same data, it's just a different way. This is pretty new. Just came across this today. I don't have ad block on this. See, but there's so many ads here. Yeah, this is also pretty good. It tells you your Bortle scale and everything. You're going to use it for the comet in April. Are you going to be able to see it? It's going to be low, right? I have to look it up. I don't remember the facts about the comet trajectory from the top of my head, but if it's visible, I'm definitely going to use it. I'm definitely going to try to go for it. Yeah, I think Chinese New Year, they're supposedly back in the office yesterday, but I'm sure the winter weather hasn't really helped because New Jersey also got a lot of snow, and they have a warehouse there. Yeah, SV Boney too. Yeah, SV Boney, Tube Tech, pretty much everybody. ML Astro, everybody was on vacation. But hopefully they got a good rest. They deserve it. So anyways, guys, I will be back in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna let this go. Speak amongst yourselves. Alright, I'm back. Looks like chat isn't on fire, so yay. I'm just catching up to the chat to see if anyone had anything for me. Oh, good night, John. I'm gonna assume he's gone. Oh yeah, I have an 8-inch SCT as well. But mainly just use it for planetary. You have a 6-inch SCT. So I started this hobby with a 6-inch SCT, my Nexstar 6 SE, 14 years ago. I mean, I didn't. That wasn't actually my first telescope, but it's the longest telescope I own now, and I use it in every star party. Still use it for planetary. It's an amazing telescope. 6-inch SCT is a great way to start, although not as beginner friendly as some other telescopes. Yeah, the Seestar takes like a couple minutes. My setup here took me over an hour because I had to actually open it up and loosen a whole belt, which was annoying. But I'm documenting all of that for an upcoming video on the SAL33 mount. Let's see what live stack looks like. This is the live stack. You can see the H alpha spots looking nice. Oh, cool. StarSense auto line. Which mount do you have, Wicked? There's a couple of people in my local outreach group who wanted to get a StarSense auto line, but I had to explain to them that you can't just get that and not have a compatible mount. Yeah, so it has a magnetic brake that's been screeching. So ML Astro had me remove the brake and then add it back on, but with a loose belt. And when I was outside, it started screeching again, so I had to loosen the belt quite a bit. Hasn't been the most fun, but kind of fun, being able to open the mount and maintain it myself. But it's been a little bit frustrating, if I'm being honest. Oh, cool. AVX. AVX was my first equatorial mount. I still have it. It's a great mount. When I started, they didn't have the StarSense auto line, but yeah, cool. Well, I have an hour on M101. I could point to something else. See what's out there. You have the AM3 and it works smooth and quiet. Yeah, I hear great things about the AM3. I almost got the AM3 not long ago. Actually, the AM3N, but didn't end up getting it. The ML Astro ended up being cheaper, than the AM3, and it just looked a little bit more interesting to me. So I do want another small strain wave mount at some point. Let's see what else is here. So you have Draco. There's the Draco triplet is around here somewhere. You know what I can do is I'm gonna pull up Stellarium. It's a little bit easier. Would I recommend the focal reducer? Yeah. So if you can get the 0.63 focal reducer, you'll be able to fit in a lot of great DSOs in it. It'll also make things faster, and the wider field of view will make it a little bit easier to use. I would recommend keeping an eye on cloudy nights. People sell their 0.63 reducers all the time for cheap. I got mine there a long time ago for like $100, I think. Another tip for the reducer is, actually I probably should have asked you, like, which SCT do you have? This is the Celestron, right? Is it an X-Star? Because I know Mead also makes one, and they also have a reducer. I only have experience with the Celestron SCT and the Celestron reducer. And if you can get the reducer that's made in Japan, yeah, the Celestron C6, yeah. So if you can get the reducer made in Japan, you'll be really happy. Most of the ones that you'll find are made in China. That's the one I have, and it has pretty significant vignetting, which you can go past using flats. So it's not that big of a deal, but Japan, the made in Japan ones from 20 years ago are really like top notch when it comes to reducers for the C6. It was oh yeah, Otto, you said it was on sale and they were bringing out the N model. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I remember that. Probably should have bought it, but no regrets. You know, I'm glad I waited for the ML Astro. I do like it. I'm hoping I can get it to a state where it works perfectly fine. They're going to send me a new brake and a new control board that I'll have to replace. But you know, in the meantime, it's fine. Without the brakes, you know, it works fine. I'm getting what, 0.72 RMS, 0.72 arc seconds, 0.77 arc seconds. It's not too bad. Although my CEM 40 would sometimes get me 0.35 or 0.4. So, yeah. Would a reducer help make your camera more useful with the SCT? Yeah, you'd get, your SCT would be faster, and you'd have a wider field of view, so you'll be able to see a lot more. So I think you'll enjoy it more. The only thing I would ask you and Wicked to keep in mind is the back focus requirement. So like all of these things have a specific back focus requirement for optimal star shapes. So I think for the 0.63 reducer for either of these is like, I want to say 105 millimeters or 133 millimeters. You'll have to Google it. It's been a while since I've used mine. But yeah, reducer will be useful. Look in the used market. They're not going to be that expensive. Spacer's Glow, yeah. You have your collection of adapters. Binder full of adapters. adapter. I barely know her. There's my 11:41 a.m. joke. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to show you guys something cool in Stellarium. So you can enable surveys in Stellarium. And a couple of things to look at are like the HIPS surveys and the DSS surveys. And under DSO, you can select like all of these and see a bunch of stuff here. And also, there you go. You can make things more sensitive. I'm just trying to see what else we can look at in the. So we're looking at Pinwheel here. There is a spindle galaxy. We have M3. It's going to look tiny. Maybe we can look at Spindle, M102, and the Splinter Galaxy. I wonder if we'll be able to get both of them in the same view, so let's see. So tiny. There we go. We got Splinter, Spindle, and that third one. So I'm going to go to that. We'll switch to that. The Seestar has about 40% battery left, so I'm not planning on plugging it in. But let's see what that looks like. While this is going, I'm going to step outside and check something really quickly. I also had a action cam outside going. I forgot to check to see if it was still running, and it died, so oh well. And I don't know why the S30 view dropped off. I'll probably keep this live stream going for maybe another 20 minutes. I went well over what I was expecting, but because I like the conversations here, kept it going. But I think maybe 12:10 or 12:15 a.m. Eastern time is when I'll end this. That'll be about 2.5 hours of live stream. It is very cold outside, so it's not enhancing. Interesting. So I did accidentally kick the tripod. But let me try again. Move it slightly. It is negative 12 degrees Celsius right now. Let me double check what the internet says. Yeah, in the cold, the Wi-Fi does not work as well. Neither does the autofocus. It struggles with that. According to Astropheeric, it's negative 11 degrees Celsius. So, pretty cold. It's colder when you go outside with just a hoodie on and no jacket. And it's just all snow. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, this is actually working a lot better this year than last year. Last year, as soon as it hit like negative 5 degrees Celsius, I couldn't get focus at all with the Seestars. And I think they're rated to work only until minus 10 degrees Celsius, if I remember correctly. So the fact that your D3 can do negative 24 is really impressive. You're snowing I think that snow is heading here tomorrow. We're supposed to get more snow tomorrow, but not too much. Hey, good night, Jerry. Thanks for joining. Have a good one. Fellow neighbor from Massachusetts. Yeah, we got buried. It's added snow on top of the 24-inch we had a few weeks ago. But it's supposed to get warmer over the next week. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm with you, Beverly. It's I always say, give me rain or give me clear skies. And if it's cloudy, I don't really care about anything else. Oh, interesting. You get better performance when it's in Alt S than EQ. Interesting. Yeah, and the amount of snow we have, I don't, it's gonna take like 3 summers for it to melt. I don't think 70 degrees a few times is gonna do much for us. Yeah, it's disconnected again. This is definitely because of the cold. It's just having a hard time. My mini PC is much better because it runs hotter. So it's also connected to Wi-Fi, but you can see like I'm remote desktoped in, and I have not lost connection at all. And guiding and everything looks pretty good, although this HFR in this one is a little bit high. So let's analyze. I used to have a video of some crazy wind and driving snow during the blizzard. Yeah. Yeah, people are crazy. Yep, I'm dithering every 2 frames. So every 10 minutes, since these are 5-minute subs. It'll show up at some point in PhD 2. This 2.6 could also have been some like wind or something, because it drops off pretty significantly after. Yeah, look at the auto DBE in the Seestar. They did a really nice job with this. This is pre-DBE. Looks terrible. And then DBE. This looks really nice. It flattens out the background sky really well. I think I'm going to send my main rig back to M81 and M82. So the way to do that is to just copy this, slew and center, yeah. And then for M51, I'm going to do not 48. I'll do 9, so that it finishes this one. And yeah, you asked about dithering, so here's the dithering in the PhD2 chart here. Now, oh yeah, look at that. The 2.6, I had elongated stars, so it must have been like some winds. I'm just going to mark that at the thumbs down. And then the one right next to it, what is the star? It's going to be this one. Yeah, it's much more round. Yeah, so I think, yeah, I think that was a bat sub. 2.4. Oh yeah, this one is not great either. It looks like it had 3 bat subs. 2.47, 2.46. Yeah, so I think I'll have to redo these. Yeah, interesting. I wonder why. Okay, cool. No matter. And that was the M81, M82. Alrighty, I'm gonna say this 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, it'll be 2.5 hours for this live stream, and that's when I'll cut it off. So, if anyone has any questions or thoughts in the next 10 minutes, let me know. And as always, I appreciate everyone who spent even a second on this live stream. It's always fun doing this. I wish I could do this more often. I wish I had more clear skies. And it looks like I'll only have maybe another hour and a half of imaging. So before clouds appear, I might have some clear skies Thursday night. So maybe a live stream then. It's supposedly a little bit warmer. And then again Friday night. Well, I don't trust the forecast at all, but I'll try and stay optimistic. Thank you, Otto. Always great to see you here. Alright, now this is going back to M81 and M82. And it should keep on live stacking when it's done. But, oh yeah, and like, I got some really nice images of M81, or M51, and the H alpha there. Thank you, Muizar. I hope I pronounced that right. Yeah, I'm glad my scripts help. It's always good seeing people use them and then submit feedback, good or bad. All right, everyone, 2 more minutes, and then we'll end this stream. I'm gonna actually give it 5 more minutes because it just started its 5-minute exposure of M81 and M82. Just want to see what it looks like in the live stack. So this is what it looked like before. So we should get one more added here. My goal is to just let this keep going until I have to pack up in an hour, hour and a half or so. Is guiding a stock feature of the S30 Pro? Well, as I was saying, so this is a completely different setup. This is my 120 Apo on an ML Astro Cell 33, and on this side is the S30 Pro. So the Seestar doesn't do the traditional kind of guiding. It does validate where it is using plate solving, but it's not guiding like a normal rig. So the guide chart here is not for the Seestar. I think I had myself muted. I just want to say that is not a stupid question. It was confusing because I had both of these screens open, and the name of this live stream is, live stream through a Seestar. So, not a stupid question at all. Please feel free to ask more questions, and don't let anyone discourage you from asking questions. It was a good question. And since you are new, if you're not yet in our Discord server, you should join. We have a ton of helpful people there. Lots of people who have started out new, so I'll put the link in the description. So feel free to join there. People will help you. I'll help you. Others will help you. You have been able to find out if you can make bias frames for the S30 Pro. Are they just not necessary, or are they done automatically? The dark frames are. So they're not necessary for this frame, for this sensor. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about them. As for the dark frames, the Seestar S30 Pro doesn't really do dark frames anymore. So what they do is, if you look here, I know there used to be a way to do dark frames. Is you can now do. I can't show this while I'm imaging. So actually, since I'm about to end the live stream, I'm going to stop this and show you what I mean. You can take flats with the Seestar, yeah, but you shouldn't worry about bias frames. And then dark frames are now just like hot and cold pixel calibration frames, I think. Let's see. There you go. Yeah, so like hot pixels corrections and wide angle hot pixels corrections. So these are kind of like the darks, but not darks in the traditional sense, where it's temperature based. It just tries and gets all the thermal pixels, the hot pixels, and applies it to all of your images. It doesn't matter what the temperature is. I don't know how well this works, but it seems to work okay. But it's winter. We'll see more of how it works in the summertime. And then, yeah, like auto said you can take flats with the Seestar. I am in Bortle 8, close to Bortle 9. And I had this open here, so like I'm like over here. You can see it's like a border of Bortle 8 and 9. Right outside Boston. You understood that they're made but automatically applies to the sub exposure. Yeah, so like the hot pixel corrections, it'll apply that to each of the subs automatically. Alright, got my first 5-minute sub here. HFR looks good. If you look at the live stack data, there should be 39 now. Yeah, there we go. M82 is looking nice. So is M81. You're in Bortle 3. I'm jealous. I'll do well with it when you get the Pro. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. Yeah, with in like Bortle 2/3, you'll get a lot of stuff. You can image dark and bright nebulae, like reflection nebulae. It'll get some really nice results. I have to stay away from those kinds of nebulae with this from my backyard because it's just too bright for those kinds of objects, but you'll have a lot of fun. Hey Noel, cool, thanks for joining. Feel free to bombard the community with questions. You know, people will eventually answer them. And mistakes are welcome. I'm still making mistakes. I'm on mistake like a million. I mentioned this earlier, like 3 hours ago. I turned off my imaging so I can do it on autofocus manually instead of doing it automatically through the sequencer, and then I forgot to turn on the imaging back on. So, yeah, mistakes made by me in year 14. So, you'll be good. And with that said, I will be closing the stream in about 60 seconds. So huge thanks to everyone who's joined, all the questions and all the chats. It's always really fun hanging out with all of you. So thank you all for joining. Thanks to those who have subscribed and joined the Discord. I will talk to you there, and I'll be doing another live stream the next chance I get, whenever it's clear.